Welcome to Out of the Rough. I'm Fred Arnold, and in this show we're going to highlight opportunities and solutions to many of life's challenges. In these tough economic times, I want to bring you practical solutions to many of these challenges you do face. In today's show, I got Gary Buterbaugh. Now, Gary is an expert with high-impact event resources, and you help people get the most and help plan out community events. Tell me about what is community event marketing?
Well, there's a number of events that occur in Santa Clarita. I've seen about 40 events.
Wow, there is a lot, almost every weekend.
Exactly, and maybe 3 or 4 a weekend. But each event represents a great opportunity for you to get your business or your organization in front of the public in a face-to-face environment.
Now, for example, the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber once a year puts on the Chamber Community Expo,
right,
where your business can get a booth and present your products, and there's many events like that.
Exactly. There's, like I said, there's about 40, and they run the gamut of general community expos to special business-to-business expos, and there are great opportunities for you and your organization to meet thousands of people in just a day or two.
But the most important thing you're telling me is, defining when you want to do an event, what your objective is.
Exactly. You've got to find an event that supports what you want to accomplish. So you need to consider who your best customers are and find the events that replicate those customers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a few other things, of course, you need to do to prepare to benefit from this event. But the important thing to recognize is that this event represents your organization, your store, and what people see there as who you are.
As who you are. It helps build your brand.
Exactly.
In a positive or negative way.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about it's too expensive. Boy, 2 days, Gary, I'm putting out, $1,500 plus people power. What do you say to that?
Well, that's a good point. And if you look at just 2 days, maybe it is a little expensive. But typically the events themselves actually last for many months because there's a lot of marketing and promotion that goes on for 2 or 3 months before the show, during the show, and then for months afterwards.
Yeah. So
actually, you're going to get a lot of exposure over a period of probably 6 to 8 months.
So it's an opportunity, not just 2 days of getting exposure, but leading up to it. And a lot of these events will thank those that are sponsors and involved in it. So great opportunities.
Another thing you need to look at is how many people are at the show. If you spend $1,500 to go to a show, but you contact 2,000 people, you just paid basically less than $1 a person to get people into your store. Yeah. Because your display represents your store at that particular time.
Yeah, your brand, and they might not need your product today, but seeing it over and over again in a great community like the Santa Clarita Valley is important. Let's talk about the 4 Ps when it comes to planning a show.
Well, my 4 Ps are, of course, plan, prepare, perform, and then stretching it a little bit, follow up.
PH, follow up.
PH, follow up.
Love it, love it. So plan.
Yeah.
Planning starts months and months before the event.
Exactly. Actually, planning should be part of your regular marketing plans for the year. A lot of people consider shows extraordinary events. They shouldn't be. They're part of the marketing mix. You have print advertising, you have broadcast advertising. You might as well have event marketing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And it benefits you because it gives you an opportunity to spread those costs over a variety of channels.
Yeah, and a longer time frame if you have it as part of your budget. Let's talk about preparing. And when I'm talking about preparing, first I want to talk about your booth. You said something to me that was great, which is less is more, big is best. What did you mean by that?
Well, one of the things you don't want to do is clutter your booth up with a whole lot of things that will just confuse the people that walk by. And if a booth is too confusing, they'll keep walking. If it's not clear what your objectives are, they'll keep walking. Mm-hmm. What your business is, they'll keep walking. You've got 3 seconds to get their attention. And the best way to do that is to be well prepared in advance with what you want to do to get your message across to them.
Right. I love that. Less is more, big is best.
Exactly.
Yes.
And basically that's referring mostly to your graphics. People go way overboard on graphics. You want to keep them very simple but large.
Yeah.
A minimum of text. We're in a post-literate society. People just don't read.
Yep.
So a minimum of text, but a lot of graphics that are compelling and that deliver your message the way you'd like it delivered.
I want to break down the last two in a minute, and that is perform, be there, and work from when you're on that floor, you're working. Everyone's a potential customer.
Actually, the way I characterize it is parking lot to parking lot. And what that means is while you're there, you need to recognize the fact that you're on stage the whole time. So from the minute you get out of your car and walk towards the convention center or wherever you're going, you have an opportunity to make a good impression for your business or organization. Mm-hmm. Or you have an opportunity to make a bad impression.
Right.
One thing you cannot forget is perception is reality.
Yeah, yeah. So make sure your performance is excellent. Last, follow-up. And now you mentioned follow-up should be part of your original strategy at the beginning on how you're going to follow up.
Right, and follow-up is something you decide on months before so that you build the structure you need for that follow-up to be successful.
Yeah.
And basically you're spending a lot of money to collect name, rank, and serial number for all these people. What you need to be able to do is also prioritize the ones that are the most likely to react in the way that you're trying to get them to react, and then focus your efforts in your follow-up on what we call the prospects.
Love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Buterbaugh, if you'd like to get more information from Gary, it's Gary B at highimpacteventresources.com.
Correct.
Did I get that right? And phone number 661-600-3048. Thank you, Gary, very much for coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Buterbaugh from High Impact Event Resources. We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, I got Carl Goldman, businessman, very involved community leader, and we're going to talk about something he's recently just started with Habitat for Humanity and Homes for Heroes. We'll be right back.